Welcome to Pursuer's Moment with Pastor Charles Kiyaga.
We are back again on our program, The Pursuer's Moment. And as always, I'm your servant, Pastor Charles, and I'm standing on your prayer site, on your prayer mountain called Zion, Pursuer's Prayer Mountain. A place dedicated out to nothing else but the cause of seeking after God. A 50-acre piece of land, not far away from Kampala, barely, not even 30 kilometers from Kampala. This is where I'm standing now. And I encourage you that this may be your second home. Come here as often as you have the opportunity and be able to connect with God. And I want to remind you, as we end the year, we are going to be here for 3 days of prayer and fasting. From the 28th, 29th, and 30th of December, we are going to be camped here in a prayer and fasting vigil. Remember, every Friday, we have a prayer vigil, a prayer altar every Friday. And today being a Friday, we are going to spend a night here. And I encourage you to come and join us. Let us join here. Let us come and join. We need to importune heaven so that our spiritual man picks up and picks up life, so that the spiritual person of us will be amplified, not the body. Because the body will lead us to destruction, but the spirit will lead us to eternal life. So this Friday, we are going to be here. If you can join us, let us come and let us connect. Let us cry to God. We have many evils. The devil wants to drag us to destruction, but we want God to lead. And we want to amplify the spiritual part of us. I want us to open our Bibles in Matthew 17, from verse 14 up to verses 21. This is a text where Jesus, after having been transfigured on the mountain, he had gone with 3 disciples. He got transfigured, and then they came from the mountain down, down to the foots of the mountain where they had left the other disciples. But they found the other disciples challenged. They had brought them a boy who is demon possessed, and they tried to cast out the demons, and it failed. And then they had a tussle with the people who had brought the demon-possessed boy. But in the process of tussling with them, they saw Jesus coming. So the owners of this boy ran to Jesus and said, "Please save our son. Our son is vexed with demons, but we want you to help us. We brought him to your disciples and they could not chase the demons away." And then Jesus said, how long am I going to bear you people without faith? Bring him here. And then Jesus cast out the demons. And eventually the disciples got to him and said, "Why couldn't we do it?" Verses 19. Then the disciples came to Jesus privately and said, "Why could we not cast it out?" And Jesus said, "Because of your unbelief. For surely I say to you, if you have faith as a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move. And nothing will be impossible for you because of your unbelief." You know, the God we believe is a God of possibilities. There is nothing impossible to him. But why are we challenged with so many things not aligning the way we would want them to be? Because we have not garnered enough faith. We have this unbelief. And how do we cure unbelief? Verses 21 says, "However, this kind does not go except by prayer and fasting." This kind does not go except by prayer and fasting. In other words, what this means, that fasting, because they had prayed for the boy and the demons did not go. But the reason why Jesus told them some can't go unless on top of prayer, you also add on fasting. So fasting is the cure of unbelief. Are we challenged with things that are not moving? Let us engage the gear of fasting, because fasting is like a 4-wheel. If your vehicle is stuck in mud and you engage in the 4-wheel gear, I tell you, it will be able to move. So fasting is like that gear that is able to circumvent rough terrains and situations. Are we faced with rough terrains and situations in our journey? Are we faced with things that seem not to be moving? Are we challenged with unbelief? Let us engage the gear of fasting. So in the 3 days of prayer and fasting, we are going to be engaging the gear of fasting. And that gear, which knows no unbelief, is going to be able to move us to another level. We could have lost so many years. But my prayer is, as we are beginning 2025, and we are beginning with fasting, I pray that God will give us the grace that we'll be able to learn the discipline of fasting, which discipline will make us as spiritual beings, will help us to have belief, will help us to have faith in God, and we'll be able to believe where you can even command a mountain, move from here to there. Let us engage that gear. And I'm going to be next week, I'm going to be teaching the health benefits of fasting. So those of you who have been fearing to fast, don't fear. Let us come and engage this gear, and all unbelief will go away. All our failure to connect with God and even to hear God will be history, because we'll be amplifying the spiritual person of us. I encourage you, don't fear fasting. Join us from the 28th to the 30th of December, when we shall be camped here on this mountain in a prayer and fasting camp, and your life will not remain the same. God bless you.
Eyo yebadde Pursuers Moment ng'ekutusiddwako essomero lya Pursuers Junior School erisangibwa mu Butambala ku kkubo lya Mpigi Gombe. Kati wulira enkizo eriwo singa otwala omwana wo ku Pursuers Junior School. Interviews za bwereere. Essomero liyimiridde ku musingi ogutya Katonda, ate ng'omwana agunjulwa bakugu. Tutumbula ebitone eby'enjawulo mu mwana. Tulina amazzi amayonjo ku ssomero, ate ng'omwana wasomera ne weyeebaka abanga mukungu. Endya y'abayizi nnungi byansusso, anti emmere tugirimira nga ne faamu y'ente weeri ku ssomero. Tulina emmotoka ezitambuza abaana. Pursuers Junior School e Butambala tusomesa abaana okuva mu baby class okutuuka ku kibiina ekyomusanvu. Mudene boarding. Okumanya ebisingawo 0772 41 98 4 ne 0702 36 41 64. Pursuers Junior School Butambala, in pursuit of knowledge.